president nanga bu president bosobeza nikukala na chikondi ku bantu mutima wabwino wana kungereza maskulu manasi aba bazisebeza ndiyo president owo chikondi ku bantu taverana mulembe mazina y'abantu bose bachita qualify ku social cash transfer munipase mazina nizabayikapo pa social cash transfer. Zambia Beze UPND wenyu soksana nikabwina kukantuka mungayibale niziba kuti cash for weki tipitiliza nayo ndiye why muvote na UPND tagwira kito zambiri koma we lot of work. Vote yanu tizasebenzera yastandiza kusebenzera pa drainage kuno ku Matero kuno na kulima nga mvula yagwa maningi kulima vuto kuno mafloods tisebenzerapo pali drainage ni ulule tibwelesa ma skills training colleges kwa mene kuno sichabwino icho ni ululanzo bantu bapaka ku Matero lima building out timanga more secondary schools, more primary schools, more health centers, more maternity wings. Snifu na muzimai azila mwana itinacho tabana sitabwino icho Thursday 13th August UPND wenyu sotsana nichani chinangu na kuuza ni ma police stations za chepa tivu na more police stations sichoncho Matero Stadium ni zasebenzera hapo Matero Stadium chinangu township roads tike matara mu townships home kuli dust kuno nivu na basikana kai muoneka bwina mukachoka kusaluni na tusukuna tuanu mumatoti tige matownship ndigalomba namukandire ndigalomba manja tifuna matownship road ya matala tichepese testi kuno tige matala kutinayambakale maona chikondi echeche ninacho kunali constituency ngati kuno ankala yangati si chikondi icho kutoka 40 milioni yankala 80 milioni sichikondi icho nichitandizo yaoneka women's clubs youth support nizambiri ningakambe muziba aba banyamata bali kutonze banaononga ziko banakongola ndalama zambiri banakangiwa kwesha anakonza ni ndani so wapu inoneuti ni pali Matero oye Lima oye muri manzi ma problem tizasebenzerapo mamberaga nao timverane muzi voti pali yakukondani muzi that I love you so much you don't know. Let me tell you, I love you so much. Do you love HH? Do you love Bali? Mumugonda Bali. Tuone manja wamene wagonda Bali. Wo. Matero oye. Lima oye. Manje bantu kukonda na wachita chitu chingati. Kuchoka lero, muyanki. Kuchoka lero. Na kupasani nchito. Ndimwe. Campaign manager. Wako Hakainde. Muzange na mkampeni ye muri babu ino chino chaka tifunda kuwi sunga kane zamene zakamba wamuna ngati mulipaka taxi wakwanja mungayiwale pa voting day Thursday mukauke kuseniseni mukacherere mwamvera mukachite chani kuyenda ku polling station osaenda mweka mukatenge bantu bali 5 or more than 5 wonse ni kuvota suit tivota chani or chain or chani same color same everything taberana councillor UPND taberana mayor UPND MPs UPND president bali HH UPND so nikakamba councillor UPND muyangati kwenyu sotsan councillor wa UPND kwenyu sotsan mayor mwewa wa UPND kwenyu sotsan MPs wa UPND kwenyu sotsan president Hakainde Hichilema sotsan mulibo chenjera mwamvera kani mwemveraga takambi sana yopela vumela lienda ku UPND osasala kumbuyo sasalira kumbuyo tambera na bwino tabela na bwino we love you so much God bless you all gawa umfwa wite
There's a simple choice being made to belong. Count me in. In moments of love and promises for tomorrow, count me in. At the
So me, I'm listening when people say no, they are coming, but to do what? To occasion more damage?
Minister and Munjamu PF. Winangu analiko vilo minister ku Northern. Winangu ku Eastern. Ndiye vanati andalama za Zambia. Hakuna taperenzo ayande kuja rizeko.
Exchange on the mix.
Saka itantan to be a tent. Saka ni saka.
Mwebekala chalo bashitata na banginefwe abakashana na balumendo iseni tukolongane mpamu twelenganye nokwibukisha inshi kushakale inshi kutwaikele kumunga wefwafa. Remember the fear and the tension that gripped every community, the violence, the intimidation and the gassing. Remember the panga culture that overwhelmed every election. Need allowance. Ibiti mufipa tala stable economy.
Strong kwacha.
Impia Shabalanda. Cash for work. Bikeni voti. Atwali lile. No kala chalo baisana bafwali mpaka shampanga but mukati ninkala mune mbwili bamunyinane ilukeni isuleni amenso
Umuntu ni bali Umuntu ni bali Umuntu ni bali
Sol sana Bali ewa suko bwa chalo Free education
Yonse ni bali
Meal allowance
Yonse ni bali
Imiti mufipa tala Stable economy
Strong kwacha Yonse ni bali
Impia
Shabalanda
Cash forward
Yonse ni bali
Bigeni voti
Bali
Atwali lile Nobu yantanshi bwa Zambia
I have a message for those boys. We introduce free education. Go back to school. So you can understand how the economy works.
Bemishinga bata bemibepa abani bapompwe bakamunyama tabakwete na manifesto balefwayo kukolopa ubunonshi bwa chalo ileshilyama reserves yabakubule imitima ukuti bese bona ule ichalo na futi balefwaya ukubwesha kaderism corruption impasasene ntulubundi ichibemba chichila uwakale matakaleka elio munyela pebwe tabula kubwekeshapo
Esaka, I don't want to be a tent. Saka.
webekala chalo we mwilaba bwangu ubufuntungu bwaba mabyetaba bamarkete nababas driver bushe mulefwayo kulaba imisonko mwalesonka chilabushiko awe basi boseban bushe mulefwayo kulabifyo bakate basangwile ama office yenu kwatini baba station awe baticha nabashimaini bushe mulefwayo kulaba efyo bali alewamya ichalo awe bayutu bushe mulefwayo kulaba free education na meal allowance ya mubuteko kwa bali awe
Umuntu ni bali Umuntu ni bali Umuntu ni bali
Sol sana bali ebwa suko bwa chalo free education
Yonse ni bali
meal allowance
Yonse ni bali
imiti mufipa tala stable economy
Strong kwacha Yonse ni bali
impia
Shabalanda
cash forward
Yonse ni bali
gigeni voti
Bali
atwali lile nobu yantanshi bwa Zambia gigeni voti bali atwali lile nobu yantanshi bwa Zambia
Zambia, do not go back to Maputo. Tienda chake kusoko.
Umuntu ni bali
Sotsara
HH Support Network Production. Forward with development, peace and unity for a better Zambia.
The preceding content is a political advert and does not reflect the views of Prime Television, but those of the content providers.
All right, listen up. Colgate is on a mission.
It's kind of a big thing.
Colgate Herbal uses traditional nature's herbs and combines it with Colgate science for healthy gums and strong teeth.
Colgate Charcoal Gentle Clean cleans and polishes teeth for a whiter smile and a naturally fresh and clean mouth. Choose natural. Choose Colgate Charcoal.
Enjoy.
Here's a little song that we wrote for you. The words are very simple and they're only two. Scream it, just scream it. Like the moonlight adds a little light in the dark, you got to add a little light in your car. Scream it, just scream it.
is not a coffee till you cream it. Trade Kings, improving lives.
I give my life, so let's begin with yours. Grow well, my child. I'll do my best to guard your flame. Live out your dreams. The world is there for you to take. Grow well, my child. Enjoy your life and feel the joy.
Delight baby cereal. Great start for little tummies.
Whether you run a hotel, lodge, or guest house, keep your guests entertained and coming back for more with DSTV for Business. Our DSTV stay package options match your needs and budget. Make your visitor stay unforgettable with the best channels for sport, blockbuster movies and series, kids inspiration, lifestyle, documentaries, news, and more. Contact us today and let your guests experience your business at its best with DSTV for Business.
Your next big move.
No one wanting to go home right away.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know what they say, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. We've had an absolutely fantastic time, and the breakfast has actually even made it better. Paul.
Yeah, so, you know. Let's concentrate. It's very important. We had a great conversation with Kasonde Mwenda, you know, and also with Mr. Ndaba and Anthony Wali. I think that is how it ought to be, to give an opportunity to the Zambians to hear from various diverse voices and not only from one side. It's a very crucial week. We are giving an opportunity to Zambians to make informed decisions. That's right. You know, come this Thursday, and I think from the voices they are hearing, their choice is left to them.
Absolutely, absolutely. So indeed, the choice is yours. Even as we head to the pause, 2 days remaining, today's conversation really has been bordering on whether Zambia is ready for a change of government, basically exploring whether the opposition is ready to take the reins of power. And that's it. It's a wrap from us.
We're back again tomorrow from 6 to 10 hours.
Six indeed.
6 in the morning.
You can just wake up with us.
Yes.
In case you wake up late, just 6 o'clock, tune in, and we'll have a great conversation. Yet again, it will be the eve, very important day, eve of the 13th of August. So the last day also for political parties to, you know, campaign, even for us to host, you know, political conversations. That's right. So you don't want to miss those conversations tomorrow.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And my take, team, is that tomorrow, you know, even as we have the last day and we go to the polls the next day, it's Zambia that will win. It's not which party, because at the end of the day, whoever wins becomes our leader and our political party to represent us for that season and for that moment. So I think that emotions must be tamed and controlled, because we only have one Zambia. We only have one country where we can record our, you know, citizens. So I don't think that it's UPND or any other party that is winning. It is the Zambians that are winning.
Well said, Tim. I know we're unable to get your calls and read your messages, but we'll be able to do that tomorrow. We may be saying our goodbyes here, but that platform does not switch off. On behalf of poor Kizito, myself, and of course the rest of the entire production team, and you, who's been with us from when we started at 6, it's bye-bye. Now the team will see you tomorrow.
Daybreak is brought to you by Airtel. Daybreak was brought to you by Airtel.
Meet Suilanji, curious, creative, always learning. New skills, global trends, she's in on it. Design or tech, she's exploring the best international options. And with the Airtel Money Global Pay Card, paying is the easy part. One quick tap and she's learning from the best. No stress, no visa, no problem. Even her parents are getting in on it. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your global pay card details, CVV, and expiry date, and that's it. Be like Suilanji. Get your global pay card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
After a long day of spreadsheets, traffic, and people saying circle back, Twambo just wants to stream his favorite show. But of course, his subscription expired. Good thing he's got the Airtel Money Global Pay Card for his global subscriptions. One tap and he's back in business. No panic, no drama. At checkout, just pick MasterCard and enter your global pay card details, CVV, and expiry date. That's it. Show back on. Subscription paid. Couch life activated. Be like Twambo. Get your global pay card in the Airtel Money section of the My Airtel app and top it up straight from your wallet.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Voting is one of the few moments where we all have a voice.
One person, one vote.
No titles, no status.
Just a choice.
It's not about doing nothing.
It's about showing up.
Because your vote matters.
It's easy.
It's important.
It's ours. Count me in.
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 Turning farms to opportunity. AgriTip 360, smart ideas for you and me. From the soil to the market too. Better farming starts with you. Hey! AgriTip 360, growing Zambia together. AgriTip 360, growing Zambia together.
Welcome to Chinsa again. Here at Chinsa we do integrating farming, we do livestock and we do crops. So right now we are in front of the piggery. As you can see, there's a footpath. A footpath, it's a must for biosecurity. Before going inside the piggery, we have to make sure that we step on it to avoid taking diseases inside. So you find a into 500 grams at each eating portioning. So we have different stages of pigs. We have mothers, which we call sowers. We have boars that are males, and then when a pig is pregnant, usually we put them like in 3 in one cube. That way then they are not fighting too much, they have space. And then we introduce them when the pregnancies are still small to avoid them fighting, because once they start fighting at an advanced stage, then you find that the mothers can even abort or have a miscarriage. So before you even service the mothers, you need to make sure that the mother is treated. There's some medication that the mother is given to clean up the wombs. The farrow show, you also, when they are pregnant, there's the litter gut that we give them. This is to make sure that the babies are growing healthy inside, and even when they start farrowing, they farrow properly, there's no stillbirth. And then when it comes to feed, we introduce the clip feed when the piglets are about 4 weeks old, when they're still with the mother, still breastfeeding. We give them a clip feed, and by the time they are coming off from the mother, would have put a little bit of weaner feed. So from the piglets to weaner, they take about 6 weeks. And also when they reach weaner stage, we make sure that they have a balanced diet, mainly high in protein because they are growing. And also for the weaners, when we are weaning the pigs, we don't move the piglets from the cube they've been with the mother. To ease on the stress, we usually just move the mother from the cube, because you are now removing them from breastfeeding. They will miss the mother, and then you put them in a new pen, so you make them to be stressed even more. So to reduce on the stress, you remove the mother from the cube where they've been for 3 days, then now you remove all of them that you are weaning at that time and introduce them now in one pen. Of course they fight. Pigs are very territorial, so they'll fight the first few days, but then they get to be friends. And then with the boas, as you saw, we put them separate in their own cubes. We do that deliberately because you don't want the male one to be with the female all the time. They get to, I think it even happens with human beings. You can't be mating all the time. So this is for business. So what we do is that we leave the male to be on his own, and when the female goes on service, then we introduce the female to the male one. Then usually we are sure that they'll be serviced that way. It's about 3 times in that heat period. You wait for 21 days. If they don't come back on heat, you know for sure that the female is pregnant. And when the female is pregnant, the pregnancy is 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days, 3 hours. Don't ask me how, but that's just the way it is. You know that around this time, and sure to that, the pig will start following. When you are starting pig business, like any other business, don't say, I want to have 100 pigs so that I can be selling so many pigs at the end of the month. You start small. You can start with 2 female pigs that you can service from your friends who have pigs or who are already in the business. From those 2 pigs, when they farrow, you can look out for the female piglets, female piglets that has a lot of titties. Those already you start looking out for them. Even when we wean them off, you wean them off to prepare them now to become mothers themselves. That way you'll be able to increase your pen quickly, so you don't have to all the time source out, like you keep on buying pigs from outside. And then when it comes to sales, make sure you find your market, do your market research, know where you're going to take your pigs when they are grown. You can start looking for market actually even before you start your business. By the time the pigs are reaching 4 months old, you should be able to identify the customers. You should be able to know, I'm going to take these pigs to this organization. We have a lot of big companies that take in bulk. We have Master Pork, we have Kinju, we have Mika. All these people, they get in bulk. So know where to take your pigs before they are ready to be sold. Also, the other thing that you can do with pigs, I know most of the people, they say that pigs are dirty, but as you saw in the piggery, they tend to eat on one side, sleep on one side, and then mess up on the other side. They don't like sleeping in their mess. Pigs are so clean, you know. It's only when you put them in an enclosure that is small, where they can't separate the 2 places, then that's when you find problems. But otherwise, when you give them enough space, they'll be able to select themselves where they will defecate and where they will sleep and where they will eat from. Yeah, so that's about the pig business. It's very interesting. It is very profitable also. You can make so much money from pigs as long as you do it right. You need to know the diseases that affect the pigs. The most deadly disease in pigs is diarrhea. If you don't know how to control the diarrhea, you have problems. So usually when we notice that one piglet is having diarrhea, We treat all of them in that cube, and we make sure that we do isolation. Isolation, we have one person who will go in that cube, and we'll make sure that the shoes they use in that cube do not go any other place, because diarrhea is easily spread, and if you just relax on it, it can wipe out the whole piggery. Clean like that, because even from the smaller ones, it goes even to the big ones. So it's also deadly. When the pig has diarrhea, especially the piglet, within hours, it can go from 0 to 100. You know, within hours, the next thing, you have mortalities. So we usually make sure that we are on top of the diarrhea. And then there are also cases where the mother starts eating the piglets. So you need to know these things. When that happens, you find that it's a lack of iron. You introduce the iron to the mothers so that they don't do that, because when they feel the age, they usually just eat on the babies, and they will just be eating the legs, you know. They will be going for the bones. So you need to know these things, the downside of the pig business. Also, you need to know how to select proper mothers. Like I've said, the piglet or the winner should have a lot of titties. You know that they will give you a lot of piglets. Go for something that has 7 and above, then you know you have a good litter. Because we've seen people who say, no, this one looks big, but when you count the titties, you find that they are just 10. So even the production will be on a lower side. And also on the boar, you have to get a boar that is very active. You don't want to get a male one that is just sleeping, they are not active. That way you find that they've serviced the female, but you have 4 piglets being farrowed. So you need to get one which is active, very active when it comes to mating. And also the diet for the pregnant mother. People would say, no, when someone is pregnant, they need to eat more. You know, these animals, they're just like us human beings. You overload yourself, you find that you've develops the gestational sugar and all that. So you need to be very mindful of the diet when the pigs are pregnant, especially when they go in their 2nd month. You need to start reducing, because you don't want them to have a lot of fat. It affects the pregnancy. They can have stillbirth because there's too much fat inside the womb. That fat now suffocates the babies. So you need to control the feeding until after they give birth. After they give birth, then that's when now you reintroduce more feed, because then they'll be breastfeeding the piglets. You count how many piglets there are, then you introduce more feed to the feeding mother. They can even go up to 3.5 kgs in a day, because you want them to have enough milk for the piglets, since that's their first feed. With pig business, that's like any other business. You don't have to build the whole piggery like you can see this. This was our first piggery. You can see the bench bricks. We started from this 1 cube, the bench bricks. We started with 1 cube, 2 pigs. So you build on as the business grows. Don't be cheated to say you need to have the whole piggery. We've seen a lot of beautiful bouts piggeries in people's farms that are just empty because they didn't do their research well. So you start small. You start with 1 cube, put your 2 pregnant mothers there as you are building the 2nd cube. So when you do your 2nd cube, by the time they are reaching about 2.5 months pregnant, you separate the 2. It will give you time now to build the pen, another pen for winners, which will be maybe another 2 months. So you have time to do things at a slow pace. When you have 1 pen, 1 big pen, where when you win off these 2, you are able to put those winners in there. you wait. You wait until you sell those pigs that are weaned off to now start increasing your pens. You increase them. You can even do 1 pen at a time. 1 pen at a time. You don't rush it. And again, it will help you to know where you make mistakes, because in as much as you get trained, the experience on the ground is different. You know, practical experience is very, very different. So you need to experience that using a small bunch. If you start big, you have no practical experience, you shoot yourself in the leg. And you find that people say, no, pig business is very difficult to do. No, it's because you didn't take time to get schooled. You didn't take time to experience them yourself. It's very easy for my friends to come and say, oh, you're doing big pig business, I'll also start. You can't rely on your friends' knowledge. You can't rely on other people's experience. You need to experience it yourself so that you grow it at your own pace. Then that way you are going to enjoy pig business. I'll also encourage people to know how to formulate their own feed. Because with any other livestock, what kills us farmers is feed. The prices for feed is so ridiculously expensive. So you need to learn how to formulate your own feed. Livestock, they are able to teach you how to formulate. They'll give you the quantities you need for what stage of animal they are at. You will be able to buy the raw materials which are readily available. Like now when the maize, people will be selling maize. It's easy for you to stock up the maize, it's easy to get the sunflower, it's easy to get the soya beans. You formulate your own feed. It's much, much easier. You cut off like 50% from the commercial feed. And then also maybe on the same feed, I would advise that when they're just starting, when they are still piglets, stay away from experiments. Do that same commercial feed when they are piglets, and maybe when they go to winter stage, then you'll be able now to start formulating your own feed. You don't want to risk them when they are still young. They need all that nutrients that they can get. But if you reach a point where you know you are comfortable, you can feed them from birth. You start again with a small number of piglets. Maybe you can actually select maybe even 3 that you say, these I'll feed them using my own formula, and see how they'll fare up with the ones that I'm going to feed commercial. You don't just introduce your own feed minus that proper knowledge. So make sure you do that. I would encourage anyone who wants to do pig business, even those that don't eat pork, this is a business. And it's good business, it will give you good profit. Don't say, no, because I don't eat pork, I can't do this. You are doing this for business. I mean, people sell cars, they don't make cars, so it just applies to the same. It's a business that is going to give you good profit. Also, when you treat it well, you do the biosecurity, you keep your piggery clean all the time, you feed them well, you'll be smiling all the way to the bank.
Thank you so much for watching AgriTip 360 with me, your host, Rhoda Mlinga. Until next time, goodbye and continue watching Prime TV 2.
AgriTip 360, turning farms to opportunity. AgriTip 360, smart ideas for you and me. From the soil to the market to better farming starts with you. Hey! AgriTip 360, growing Zambia together. AgriTip 360, growing Zambia.
Her space where queens arise, love and power in her eyes, building bonds we no divide, side by side we glow, we shine. Her space.
Well, thank you so much for joining us once again on this extraordinary edition of Her Space. Of course, this is a program where we get to share conversations with women who are navigating life, purpose, and growth today. And it's going to be an amazing show, trust me, because I'm joined by Marianne, whose journey has taken her from a successful professional career in Zambia to building a new life and business in the Netherlands. Along the way, she's experienced the realities of, starting over, which is not easy. Embraced entrepreneurship, built a career helping, people just achieve healthier skin, and continues to inspire others through resilience and authenticity. And today we will be talking about her journey, her life abroad, entrepreneurship, marriage, wellness, and of course, what's next for her. Welcome to her space.
Thank you very much, and I'm excited to be here.
Well, thank you so much. I must say I'm welcome to your space because today is all about you, and obviously this is a space that we are creating for you.
Oh, that's really, really nice of you. Thanks.
But Marianne, maybe tell us your full names because, probably people want to know your full names and who exactly is Marianne, your background.
Okay, so my full names are Marianne Katongola Sheptso.
Okay. I wouldn't have pronounced that.
You should try. At least you should give it a try.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Katongola comes from Mporokoso. So I'm Zambian. I'm from Mporokoso, raised in Kasama, and I'm a skincare specialist. I focus on hormonal acne and hyperpigmentation, which comes as post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So whenever you have acne, it's almost like a must. You are going to have dark spots, right? So I also focus on dark spots because skincare space is a big space.
I can tell from how clear and clean your skin is that you are really an expert in that.
Yeah, thank you very much. And so it took me a while, first learning about my skin, learning about products that I can use, and then I was really scared of bleaching. So I wanted something that I could work with that I'm not going to bleach. So that's why we're here.
Yeah, absolutely. Now take us back a little bit, what is your background like growing up? What were some of your interests? Where did you grow up from? What schools did you attend?
Okay, so I grew up in Kasama, in Northern Province, and I attended the Kasama International School when I was young, and that was like, I really thank my parents for that. I think every parent should consider investing in good education because maybe my foundation came from there. And then I did Laura Girls in Kasama, and when I finished, I went to college. I studied in Russia. I went through the government scholarship. And then after that, I came back and I worked in the government. I worked in Ministry of Community Development, and then later went to Ministry of National Planning.
Okay.
And then I went to study in the Netherlands.
Okay.
And I went to study in September. In November, my husband also relocated from Israel to Netherlands. And in December, we met.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like everything was falling into place.
Absolutely.
And in the first year of study, I understood like I was going to be with him and we were going to probably start building our future in the Netherlands. And so basically that's my life in a small...
Interesting. Well, I wish he was here with us on set, but just the backstory, maybe a quick one. How exactly did you meet?
So when I went to the Netherlands, I joined a dating app, met quite a few interesting individuals, and it brought me a lot of shocks because coming from a culture that, in our culture, we have sort of a pre-assumptions of our dating life. So if I meet a man, then you already know, oh, he's my man, this is my man. But with a different culture like like the white people, it's very different in that some of them will immediately tell you like, okay, I'm interested in you, but not for a relationship, but I want to have fun with you.
Straight to the point.
Yeah, and this is like on the second or third date. And so even when dating my husband, I would receive these shocks. Like on the fourth date, he was asking me about if I have debt, what is my salary, how much do I think a lot of money is, and do I want to have children, do I want our relationship to be exclusive or inclusive, and where do I see my future and stuff like that. So it was like very shocking, like why is he asking me this? Of course, we need to have children. But then you begin to understand that in different cultures, these conversations are very explicit, like from the start. Do you want to have children? Some people opt not to have children.
And I think this is a thing that we should adopt in the Zambian culture, because you know, you're getting married to someone, you're getting to know someone, you don't even know if they have Nkongole, you don't know what their backstory is. So I think that is really great. That's a great foundation, and like that, you probably know that this person is serious and they want to spend the rest of their life with me. But also, we are interested to know, how was the transition from, you know, Zambia to the Netherlands and the culture shock there?
Yeah, so it was very, very shocking. First of all, in the Netherlands, they don't do curtains. Like, a lot of houses don't do curtains.
Yeah?
So when you walk in the street, you see people cooking, people doing things.
Wow.
That was like one of the most shocking things. And then when you have grown up in a place where 17 hours, you do curtains. So that was one of the shocks, but also food. Of course, you miss Nshima, you miss, you know, like the culture of food. You go in a culture where a lot of them just eat bread and cheese, and that's it, and that's that. But also in the gender roles, you begin to see that the Dutch society, of course, because my husband is not from there, but the Dutch society is more of a 50-50. Maybe you've heard in the movie that say, let's go Dutch.
Yes.
So that culture is actually very, very serious in the Netherlands. People, like women, pay for their own things. Men pay for their own
so unlike
things.
what what we're accustomed to on social media, a man must do everything, what not?
No, like when I worked in a hotel, when you go to get the bill, men are like fighting to pay for the bill.
Wow.
Yeah, it's it's a bit strange. Yeah.
So now, you know, many people, you know, believe that moving to Europe, you know, automatically means success. Has that been your experience, or maybe at some point you had to struggle a bit?
So for me, I also had the same mentality. Yeah, you know, like I'm at KK Airport with my bags, thinking, okay, now I've made it in life.
Yeah.
So, but then when you arrive there, you find that it's a whole different culture. It's a whole different system. Yeah, especially systems. You might have the qualification, but you are missing some trainings that when them in their culture attend the same qualification with you, they underwent those qualifications, those trainings. And the reason why they did this is because their societies are developed. And some of the things that we do, they are not needed there. Yeah, for example, I'm just going to give an example. Hospital. If you go to hospital, today I can go to the clinic anytime. I can sit and I'm going to wait for a few hours, and then somebody's going to attend to me.
Yeah.
In Europe, if I'm going to the hospital, I have to call. Secretary gives me the appointment, and then I'm going to see my doctor. So the doctor will tell me exactly what time to go there. If I'm 5 minutes late, I'm late for that appointment. I need to make another one. And it depends on how serious your case is. So the secretary will determine. So of course the secretary is also trained.
Yeah.
She will determine whether you have to see the doctor now, today, or next week.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you go to the hospital, you will not find a line of people waiting around doing like just waiting. Everybody has an appointment and everybody is there 15 minutes before. And you go in with your ID, you put it in a machine, it logs you in, then your doctor knows that you are here. And then you go there, you wait, and your doctor will come to you and call you.
Oh.
So when you look at such type of a system, and the system that is working here, there are some qualifications that are not needed for them there. Yeah. So you have to do certain trainings in order for you to like reach that level, so that you can be able to like work comfortably in their society. So for me, it was like a shock. I was like, oh, I have 2 master's degree. Why can't I find a job?
Yeah.
So then you begin to realize later on, I met a woman from Jamaica. She's had to start over like 3 times in 3 different countries. So she moved from Jamaica to China to Singapore, now she's in the Netherlands. She told me you need at least 5 years in a country before you can actually get on your feet.
Yeah.
So it was quite an interesting, very rocky journey. So, and some people, they actually give up right there, because you arrive in this society, you have these hopes and dreams, and then it just like feels like it's working against you. So some people give up and they just decide to come back home.
Yeah, but obviously, you know, when you went to school, was that your plan, that you want to stay there forever, or you know you had plans of maybe I go back to Zambia, this could work out? What was your plan?
So, I'm a very big believer in manifestation and the power of the spoken word. I remember telling my boss and everybody around me before I left, like, I'm never coming back. I
Okay.
didn't know how, but I told everybody I'm never coming back. I
Yeah.
remember somebody who, like people who were dropping me off at the airport, I told them, I'm never coming back. And we would laugh about it, like, like, okay, yeah, she's probably just kidding. Because I was going to go there for a 1-year program. So after 1 year, I was supposed to come back here because I also had the government bonding because I was going like on government program.
Yeah.
So the government bonding is that when you're done with the program, you need to come back and work for 2 years. If not, you have to pay back the money that you owe.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So I sort of like subconsciously, like behind my head, I knew I was not going to come back. And so meeting my husband just like fell probably in the alignment of something that I wanted or wished for. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So now, Marianne, the realities of most people that have gone abroad, is that when they get there 6 months down the line, their families are expectant of them to, send back some money, start building or something. We need to cash out some dollars from you. Was that the reality for you as well? Did you ever experience that? And did you explain to them to say, I'm just, this is not the reality at the moment. Let's put that.
That's actually a very good question, Rhoda, because I think last week I did a video, because I do story times, and I did a video on my page where I was talking about black tax and in relation to my husband and how his reaction and everything.
Yeah.
So I think this issue of people being expectant, especially if you didn't go for a job. So maybe if you went for a job, if you found employment, maybe that's a totally different story. But most of us, those who just you go for school or you go for some training and then you stay there. In the first few years, it's a little bit tricky. And family doesn't understand.
Yeah.
In these developed countries, if you don't pay insurance, they send you a fine to your house if you don't pay health insurance. You need to pay health insurance, you need to pay so many different bills. And you don't even have to maybe by Chambeshi, you go there, you talk to them, and they can switch on the light, the water for you and whatnot. There you don't pay, they cut you off. They don't care.
Wow.
And you talk to the machine, you talk to your bank app. Yeah, so in the first few years, it's totally difficult, and people shouldn't expect a lot from people who are abroad, especially if they've gone as students. They are probably also struggling to fit into that society, to pay so many things. The lifestyle there is a little bit difficult. I experienced the same thing. I was sending money back home to my family and whatnot, because you deep down you want to sort of like impress them. Yeah, you want to, because you've gone abroad, you want to make a name. Ngabapanga ka wedding, Shan, you want to be the one to pay more.
Exactly.
Ngabapanga ka Shan, you want to be the one to contribute, right? But then I sat down and thought to myself, I've been here 3 years, I've been working these part-time jobs. What have I done for myself? Nothing. And then you laugh at us when we arrive at the airport with synthetic wig. Abroad, synthetic.
It's true.
So you are there. You're working so hard. Yeah. You're transferring money back home, and then you fail even to take care of yourself. You fail to look good. You fail to buy skincare from me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. It's really tricky, but people should also understand, like in the first few years, it's a hard transition. It's usually not smooth. Yeah.
And Marianne, you've had an impressive professional background, yet you also worked, warehouse jobs after relocating. What did that experience teach you about resilience and starting over?
So it taught me that, first of all, I was really blessed. I was in a country where they respect the issue of minimum wage. So when I looked at my salary when I worked like in the warehouses and when I worked as a waitress, and I looked at the salary of somebody who's beginning in the companies, like, for example, a junior analyst or whatever, the salaries were sort of the same. Actually, drivers, like truck drivers, were getting paid more than me. So like when I worked in the warehouse, I had one boss. He had a daughter who was 19. When she was 15, she decided to drop out of school. She did a license for the truck. So one day I was parking, my husband was dropping me off, and I saw a small girl like driving it, like 2 trailers. She's driving, and I'm thinking, what's a small girl doing behind that truck? So it was like really impressive. And then I asked around, they're like, oh yeah, it's that guy's daughter. And she dropped out of school at 15. She didn't want to do it. and she did her license, and and she was making like almost 2 times what I was making.
Wow.
Yeah, so you get to understand that you're in a country where no job is looked down on. Yeah, so especially in the Netherlands, everybody's minimum wage is 2,400, and everybody gets holiday pay, and you get like 30 days holiday. You get some many incentives that you don't really feel like, oh, this is like a looked down on job. Yeah, and then it also just taught me like it's okay to start over, and it's really really okay to look at life like, okay, if this is not satisfying, this is not okay, how can I build over, or how can I start over?
Yeah.
Sometimes I would cry. My husband would pick me up and I would be crying like, oh my God, look, I was working in that office, look where I'm working. And he would be like, you can quit. You shouldn't be going to this if you don't want. You should quit. But I looked at myself and I looked at my personal growth. I looked at what do I want for myself? Who am I aside being Mrs. Shevtsov? And this is what I want to build on. Yeah. Sometimes I would quit. Like I would quit, stay at home 2 weeks, and then say, this is not helping me in any way.
Yeah.
So then I would tell my husband, like, I'm gonna go back and beg for my job again.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it was an interesting journey.
Yeah. Now let's talk about entrepreneurship. You had a stable career.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to, build your own business, and how did you start?
So for people who probably have known me long enough, they do understand that I was very passionate about business. I've always been passionate about being an entrepreneur, but the only problem is I didn't have the right people to mentor me on that journey or on that path. And it started way long before I moved to the Netherlands. Even when I was here in Zambia, I tried a few businesses and they failed. I was one who was always trying to look for this business or trying to do this business. But then I just didn't have, they say, the go ahead. Like I didn't have some voice or somebody who can say like, okay, yeah, you can do it, it. Yeah. So when I went into the Netherlands, I started doing personal development. I started paying for mentorships, and then I began to realize that if I don't do it for myself, if I don't go through this path myself, because this is my dream and I'm passionate about it, then nobody's gonna do it for me.
Exactly.
And so that's how I started. At first, I opened my page like 2023 and didn't post anything until, because I was feeling like, ngana posta bana monashan. Bana that's na bamba bana bin. They've started diaspora for internet. And that really, and then I bought lights, and then I bought a camera, but not starting the videos. Until all the way 2024, late 2024, then I started going into 2025, early 2025. Then I started posting on social media. And of course, the first video, the very first person to come and laugh at me was my brother.
Your own family.
Yes. And so many people, all those people who say, me, I like to keep my life private, those are the first ones to laugh at you. They'll call you up and tell you, diaspora. Now you are...
it's always like something that somebody is not able to do, and it's their, because they can't do it, so they want to laugh at you.
Yeah, because they also don't know. Yeah, it's not their fault.
Yeah.
Looking at it from a psychological point of view, it's because they don't know, and their comfort zone is threatened by what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's not threatened in a bad way. It's just something that they don't know. It's outside their comfort zone. So the only way to react to it is to laugh and try to keep you in that zone. Yeah. So then I started posting, and then it was 100 followers. And then when you're at 100, 200 followers, everyone who unfollows you, you're not Kaidi.
Yeah.
You were at 100 in the night, in the morning it's 85. Where are these 15 people? Where did they go? Yeah. But then you keep showing up, and it keeps growing, and it keeps growing, and it keeps growing, and yeah.
But also, social media often makes entrepreneurship look very glamorous.
Yeah.
You put all these pictures, things seem to be going on, but what's the reality behind the scenes? What's the reality behind the scenes for you?
Oh my God.
And how do you really just navigate through that?
First of all, you need to have, especially if you're married, you need to have a supportive partner. You need to have somebody who supports the dream without seeing the vision or the dream, because entrepreneurship, one, is very expensive. Two, you need to be very patient with it. It is not as blue and pink as we post it. Even me, probably, you see me posting like, oh, today we are delivering to 20 customers and stuff like that. To make that happen takes a long, long time. I remember when I just started, the first consignment I had, because I would just like buy from shops in Europe and send. So people would order, I buy, and then I send with the DHL. And then I had a big order, like I had more clients. So I bought a bigger box. There were about 150, 170 cosmetics in a box. Took to DHL, sent. Now, I used all my money on that consignment because I knew I had customers and they were going to pay.
Yes.
And the box came 3-4 days later. It was in DHL. DHL sent me an email. I was happy, informed my customers. And then that box met a new friend called Zamra.
Oh.
Zamra said, no, this, we cannot clear this. It needs to be checked.
Wow.
Okay, how much is Zamra going to check this box for? 3,500. Okay, I go to my husband, 3,500. They want 3,500 here. Paid. The moment Zamra paid, Zamra said, okay, now we have handed over this box to ZRA. Another new friend. ZRA, check. They said, okay, according to this consignment, it's about 26 pin. Now, I have customers who I have promised in the next 7 days, you will receive your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now you have to start looking for that money. You don't have it. You spend another 1 week, 2 weeks. By the time you're getting back to that client, when you clear that box, the client has decided that they don't want to deal with you anymore, and it's too many stories. Yeah. And so at the beginning, it's like so much frustration. Or maybe imagine you don't have somebody who can give you that money that they need for clearance. It means you're probably not going to clear, or you might stop altogether. Yeah. Or one time I ship something, 30 kilos, I put a phone inside. One of my friends said, buy me iPhone 17. I put the iPhone 17 inside. I said, okay, I'll buy it for you, no problem, because with DHL, it's okay, you can put it inside. But I use FedEx now. It goes through their system at the airport in my country, like in Netherlands. It's sent back to my house. And I say, okay, you didn't, so it moved from my house, it moved like 10 kilometers to the airport. So I told them, okay, you need to refund me the money, about 300 euros, about 7,000 kwacha. You need to refund me because you didn't ship this thing, right? You sent it back. They said no, the product was picked, it was processed in our system. It's your fault that you didn't read our policy.
Wow.
So this money you lose out. So it's not as blue and pink but I think it's about personality. If it's something that you really, really want to do, you're going to push and you're going to do it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, what advice would you give, Marianne, to somebody who wants to start up a business, but obviously they do not have any capital, and they feel like, even if they have a little capital, they feel like maybe business is a bit frustrating, and they don't know how to go about it?
The only one word advice I would give to this person, social media. Strangers will buy from me. Strangers will trust you. Strangers don't know your story. Strangers don't look at you like, nah, mamba, social media. Strangers will clap for you.
Yeah.
Strangers will look at your vision and your dream and uplift you. And 3/4 of the support that I have received has been from strangers. I used to find myself at first, in the beginning, I used to find myself in this entanglement of, my family doesn't support my business. My friends are not buying from me. My shani are not, the people I know, nobody has supported me. But we ask for support way too early as entrepreneurs as well. You want to put one mediocre video there, you with bad lighting, you are breathing everywhere, and then you want people to follow you and to share your content. You need to give yourself time to post again and again and improve, and then people will support you. But strangers are going to be your biggest supporters. Just post your things out there. Today I'm here in Prime TV. I never thought I would be here, but it's because of social media.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, we have this saying most of the times in our country and maybe in other countries as well that, when you see where a woman is being dragged, it's always the women in the forefront.
Yeah.
What has been your experience with your audience, especially Zambian women?
So for me, the time I started posting on social media, I set a goal. If it's not business, I'm not going to respond. And most of the times when I talk about my story and stuff like that, of course you find one or two women. Yeah, like one time I was doing the viral Korean skincare where you get olive oil and put in lemon and you take a shot, right? And I did it and I posted it on social media. There were women who came there and said, "But where is the glass skin?" Now that's not a very nice comment, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So your goal, you need to know your fundamental goal. If it's not aligning with your goal, let people have their own opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah. If somebody comes to bring you down on social media or to say something negative on social media, it's okay for them to have that opinion, and it shouldn't really as much affect you if it's not making you money. Well, at least for me, that's my principle. Like you can say whatever you want on my page, as long as it's not making me money. I will not comment on it. So yeah,
Exactly.
but it takes a lot of growth and it takes a lot of respect. I respect people's space. So if you come to my page and you feel like, when I talked about earlier before we started this, I was telling you about how my in-laws, it's okay for them to sleep in my bedroom, and I don't mind, right? A lot of people told me that's respect, nabakuberesha, and whatnot, such type of things. It's okay for people to give their opinion and what they feel or what they think about something. And I respect that, yeah? It's okay, you can comment whatever you want. But as long as it's not making me money, as long as it doesn't end in a sale, for me, I respect people's space, yeah.
Exactly. But also, how do you deal with issues to do with mental health when you are stressed, when you're exhausted, you've been working, you have to take care of family, you are a business person? How do you manage your stress? How do you deal with it?
How I deal with it is, oh my God, because I had just like last week, I had the most busy week ever because I was packing, managing clients, but also at work, I had to hand over some things before I could leave because I was going to leave for a very long time.
Yes.
So I don't want that image like, oh, I'm African, Zishanu, and negligent. I don't like that. So I just try to put in the extra hours and then, yeah. And then also the week before, my husband was working in the UK, and the week we were coming, he was going and coming from Belgium. So that meant early in the morning, you need to pack him some food and stuff like that. And when he comes, he also needs to we need to cook and stuff like that. So it's sometimes it does get overwhelming, but sometimes you have to, when it's slow, you have to enjoy when it's slow.
Yeah.
And then when it gets very hectic, you have to try to see prioritize what is important. Yeah, for me, I go with this saying, what's making me more money? Okay, what makes me more money per hour is the business, so it's work. So maybe the business side breaks a little bit and focus on work, so I do a good job. And then family, and then, yeah, so you just try to juggle the things around, yeah. Stop doom scrolling, don't scroll on social media.
I tell you.
Yeah.
But, let's talk about identity, growth, and personal development. You've been an economist, a planner, a climate change professional, an entrepreneur, just to mention but a wife to add on to that.
Everything.
And, an immigrant.
Yeah.
Which identity has taught you the most when you look at these things?
So the identity that has taught me the most is being an immigrant, because I was able to actually move from this image I built from myself, oh, I'm economist, I wear heels, chani, to literally go to a low, below. Yeah, so this has really taught me a lot. Sometimes life has got its own seasons, and these seasons need to be enjoyed. And so, but also being a wife, being married to somebody who is not from your culture, who doesn't understand why you have to pay lobola. You have to explain to him, no.
That should be hard.
It needs to be paid.
Why am I paying?
But why am I paying? Am I buying you? No. Okay, so now if I pay this, does this mean I own you? Right? No, it doesn't mean like that. It's
But did you have a hard time explaining that?
So me and my husband work in a very like we respect each other's what is important for each one of us. Yeah. So we work in a system where if it's important for you, I don't really need to understand it, but it's going to be done. Yeah. Because even if you sit down with him for 6 days and explain to him like, oh, you're going to pay my dad 50 pin. He's not going to understand this. Like, what happens with this money? Do I get it back at some point? Or like, so you just tell him like, okay, this is going to happen because it's important for me and for my family. And the only explanation I can give you is it bonds families and that's it. Yeah. So, because he also has to explain it to his family. Yeah. So sometimes it's very difficult to explain some of these beliefs. Yeah. Because if you go deep down root and you bring logic in it, you will find that it might not make sense why we are paying, you know?
Exactly.
So just tell him it's a cultural thing. If your parents ask you, just say it's a cultural thing, and that's it.
Okay. Now, what's one belief that you've held, that you had probably 10 years ago and it has changed now, and why?
Black tax. Sending people mad. I have stopped. And the reason why I've stopped is not because I'm married to somebody of a different race. It's because I began to see that I worked in government for like 6-7 years before I left. And I looked at my life, what have I done with this? I started to literally go through every money that I earned, per diems, DSA, they call it in government. And I looked at myself like, what have I done at this point? Nothing. And then I went to abroad, especially that time, because when I went, there was COVID. COVID was just slowly like going away. So a lot of people were not very eager or excited about going back to work because they were scared. But us being Africans, we would take like those part-time jobs and they were paying very good. Some of them were paying like $30 an hour, which is about 600-700 kwacha
that's
an
a
hour.
lot.
Yeah. And then you're there 10 hours. So when I went there, I was making very, very good money. But then I started to look in my bank app like, where's all this money? Where has it gone? And I am very, very blessed to have somebody who, he takes care of the home. He pays bills. He pays even for my insurance, for my whatever he pays. He pays for everything. For me, it's just like, my money is my money. I'm doing my own thing. So I started thinking like, what have I done for myself? Nothing. And then, okay, all these people that I'm sending this money to, if I had a problem tomorrow, is it going to be possible for them to bail me out? No. So that mindset is something that I have really changed. I started like prioritizing myself. If you have not called me in the last 3-4 months, you don't need my money urgently. You don't. You need to tell me today and I need to plan you in like in the next 3 months. And then if you did not pay anything for my wedding, which I'm glad nobody did, only my dad did, don't put me in your committee. So that's how I'm living now.
If you weren't in mine, I'm not going to be in yours.
Like, I'm sorry.
Now, I understand that you're working on something new. Can you kindly
Voting is one of the few moments where